because at the end of the Cold War, everybody said, "Oh, that Putin is, that Kennan is such a genius. He saw this 40 years ago and it finally worked." But then they simultaneously said, "And now that Russia isn't communist, we can be friends and it's all going to be great." And in fact, the whole point of Kennan was that the problem here is not that they're communists, but that they're Russian is the thing that we really have to come to grips with. And I have to say that's also very discouraging for a writer on foreign affairs to realize that the most profound essay maybe in the 20th century in America could be so universally misunderstood and misapplied. You wonder sometimes why you get up in the morning.
Well, some things are truly evergreen, and this really is one of them. And that's why. And I'm glad I just happened to see this op-ed by Dove, and this just jumped out, and it's why I like to go back and read Gaddis every once in a while, etc. Problems. Libya is a particularly challenging one, and I have to acknowledge that we obviously did not succeed in the Obama-Biden administration in getting that right. In part, I think one of the things that we hadn't seen as clearly as we should have, arguably, is that Gaddafi had done a brilliant job making sure that there was nothing that could rise to challenge his power over the years, and so there was, in effect, virtually no functioning bureaucracy or administrative state with which to partner after he was gone from the scene. That made it very difficult to get anything done. There was also, despite the fact the country is divided in so many ways, also a hard core of nationalism that made it very, very difficult to get Libyans to accept any kind of international security force that arguably might have helped stabilize the situation after Gaddafi, or even training for their own security forces. And now, of course, in the intervening time, we've had vacuums, and those vacuums, as I said earlier, have been filled by bad things, not good things. And we have Libya as a sort of terrain of a proxy contest for other powers that you listed so well. So that's going to be very, very hard to untangle. But again, Walter, I think it starts with actually valuing and using the institutions that allow us to cooperate and collaborate and find joint approaches to hard problems. We face. So just as a matter of time allocation, budget priorities, I think we would be doing less, not more, in the Middle East. Having said that, there are obviously certain fundamentals that remain constant, including starting with even our relationship with Israel as the anchor and foundation for democracy in the region. That won't change. The commitment to Israel's security is not going away. But overall, in terms of the amount of time and focus and energy and resources, we need to be thinking about how we allocate them to best match our interests. And again, I think that suggests more in the Asia Pacific, more in our own hemisphere, and the sustained engagement in Europe.